हरे कृष्ण। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. So yesterday we were discussing that how the punishment Lord gives is not for the uh, action, for the mentality. So as long as we don't change the mentality, we get punishments, and that's how the sufferings of this world are designed. We may think, Arey, when did I do what mistake I do? People start counting, na? Arey, when did I do the mistake? Kis janm ka karma phal hai? Which lifetimes reactions I am getting? We may not getting another lifetimes also. This lifetime also we may be getting. Only thing is we didn't change our mentality. We have to continue getting that punishment as long as we change. Because like I was giving example, if a say a flower pot is broken by a child, it may be costing 100 200 rupees, but mother will punish the child, not that she cannot purchase a new flower pot, but she want to rectify the child, right? So similarly for Lord, any damage we do in the creation, Lord can anyway rectify. He is not having any problem in changing the things. But why he is not doing is because he is he is not that he cannot do it. He want to change us. That's why he has to work very hard. And all the settings he is doing not to get something special. He is changing the heart, which is the most difficult thing. He is coming, sending the his devotees, and so many other things he is doing, performing all these things only to change our heart. So that's why that is the most difficult thing actually in the creation, to change the heart of a living entity. So when we say, "Oh, I am getting punishment," yeah, we are getting punishment because we are not changing. So, kis janma ka paap, this is as long as uh, we keep this mentality, things will go like this only. So another thing like Vallabhacharya's one nice story is there where one sadhu comes to take darshan of Srinathji, and what happens is he's carrying a salagram shila. He carries with him, and when he is about to go for the temple, he hangs it in the nearby tree and then goes for darshan. And after darshan, Vallabhacharya says that, okay, why don't you stay for some more time? We will till Aarti or something. He says, no, 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 I have kept my deities on the tree. That's why I am not able to stay for long. I have to go. So Vallabhacharya was not very happy. He says, that is not the way you treat. You have to always carry with you. You cannot just keep here and there whatever you want. And he just says like that. And after that, he goes to the sadhu. He goes back to the tree, and when he goes to the tree, he finds that there are so many what do you say, um, uh, bags are there hanging with so many deities, and he gets confused, which is my deity. And then he comes back to Vallabhacharya and says, no, I don't know where is my deity. There are so many hanging there. Then Vallabhacharya says, Arey, you are worshipping, you cannot identify your deity, what type of worship you are doing. We should be able to recognize the lotus feet of the deities whom we are serving. Even if we are taking darshan of the deities in temple or the photos, we should be able to recognize the lotus feet. That means we are meditating on them. That is our proper meditation. We should meditate on the lotus feet. Like I saw one small video that it was put in the what do you say, in our school uh, group. So there, uh, the what happened is they they brought the mothers, and what they did, they made the children, they're very small kids, maybe 4 years, like kids. They made them lie down on the floor, and then they covered them, and only the feet are seen. And mother should come, recognize the feet of their child, and take the child out. So, and all the mothers, they recognized the feet of the child because they are serving. So, same thing with the deities and the Lord whom we are serving. We should recognize their lotus feet. Otherwise, there is no relationship. We have not found relationship. We are just we are still on a very superficial level. This is very important that I develop relation with the deities whom I am serving. Even photos also we are doing. We should recognize the lotus feet. If just the photo of the feet are given, we should recognize them. That should be the meditation. So here we are seeing that Prithu Maharaj is discharging very special devotional service. He is doing great austerities, which we cannot do and need not do also. We just have to serve the Lord very in a little bit austerity is, if we can be conscious why I am doing, the motivation should be very clear, then Lord is very pleased. That is the most important thing in our service, the motivation. That's actually what Lord is looking. He don't want much. He want to see that we are properly motivated and we are trying to do things in a proper way. That is the only requirement Lord has. Because the content of what our service and the and other things are anyway not bothering Lord. Lord can whatever he want, he can create himself. But what he wants is the quality of our consciousness. So here we are seeing that Prithu Maharaj, he is working on purifying his mind, and it is said that uh, by regularly discharging devotional service, Prithu Maharaj became transcendental in mind and could therefore constantly think of the lotus feet of Lord. So this is actually where I was thinking, the lotus feet of the Lord. We should be always able to constantly think. So now we will not be able to think because we did not see. We only see our deities. But when we think, meditate on the service of Lord, that is the meditation on the lotus feet of the Lord. A servant is always at the lotus feet. Because of this, he became completely detached and attained perfect knowledge by which he could transcend all doubts. Thus, he was free from the clutches of false ego and material conception of life. And where there is such a great bliss and pleasure is in detachment only. People, unfortunately, they don't know this. They think more and more I possess, more and more I'll become happy. But that is not true, because for the soul, this material prosperity and material things is a cause of suffering. It's a bondage for it. We are unnecessarily, like I'm in a prison and I'm accumulating things in a prison. But staying in a prison itself is a punish, is a suffering. No matter whatever luxury I have in the prison, how does it matter? What you have in the prison? You're still in the prison. So having this metal body itself is a great punishment. It's a great humiliation. And with this, I am trying to accumulate so many things and all these things. It's such a foolishness, and people are very proud. See how much I accumulated, how much I accumulated. What is the use of that accumulation? And even you cannot keep it also, because it is going to go one day, one fine day. So this is all such a great foolish endeavor by the living entity to become something great and big in this metal world and trying to accumulate. We have to be free. That's why thus he was free from the clutches of false ego and the material conception of life, which is most difficult actually for us to come to get out of this metal conception of life, because we are always seeing people around, materialistic people around, and they always try to force their ideas and opinions on us, and we try to get affected by it. That is the reason we have to every day here Nityam Bhagavata Seva is to clean our consciousness every day so that we don't get affected. See, we have to clean our teeth, clean our body, clean our room, everything we have to to clean regularly, otherwise it will get damaged. Similarly, with our consciousness also, every day chanting, every day Bhagavatam, every day we have to hear because it is going to get contaminated. We are in this material world, it is getting contaminated. We have to hear it very clearly. And this verse we were discussing yesterday, when he became completely free from the conception of bodily life, which is like there are so many Brahman realized personalities. Like we have so many saintly people in India. They may not be great. They are not devotees of the Lord directly, but they have realized Brahman, Brahma Jnanis. There are so many such personalities they have realized. Not even in India, in the western part of the world also, Western world also, there are so many such people like even Socrates. They have realized Brahman. They have understood. Even this quantum physics, the scientists who go very deep and all, they are also getting this understanding of Brahman. But that is not very, that is big achievement, but that's not what we want. So Maharaj Prithu realized Lord Krishna sitting in everyone's head as Paramatma. Being thus able to get all instructions from him, he gave up all other practices of yoga and jnana, so which is not needed. Once you know Paramatma, Bhagavan, what is the use of other things? Just he was not even interested in the perfection of yoga and jnana systems, where he thoroughly realized that devotional service to Krishna is the ultimate goal of life, and thus, unless the yogis and jnanis become attracted to Krishna Katha, their illusion concerning existence can never be dispelled. This is the most important thing. What is that? We had to be attracted to Krishna Katha, narrations about Krishna. And anything connected to Krishna will give same amount of bliss. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is discussing about Dhruva Charitra and Prahlad Charitra constantly, and he was very happy, he was ecstasy. Uh, so there is a question. As Grahastha, when my consciousness become fully clean, since I am in the midst of it, it is a big struggle actually. It is really a struggle to keep our consciousness. That's why, holy dhams are there. Now even the dhams also it is very difficult because they are becoming commercial. We have to work very, very hard in this regard. There is no option for us. We have to work very hard, and uh, whole day we have to hear lectures, whole day chanting, whole day reading, something like that. Means inside there should be that fire, that I should not waste my time with materialistic thing. I should not waste my time. Somehow a whole day I should be engaged something for Krishna, something for Krishna. So that type of intensity only will save us. There is no other way to save ourselves, because yeah, if that is there, then that is the absorption we are having, so we'll not get affected very much like what happens in for outsiders. Whole day somehow or other, something or other, we should be connected to Krishna, some engagement should be there for Krishna. That's the only way. We should feel sad if we did not engage whole day in Krishna's service. Then we are in a good position. Then slowly it happens that even 1 minute waste without serving Krishna will give so much pain. So that is avyartha kalatvam. That is the stage where we should reach. Just why am I wasting my time? There is no Krishna here. So Prabhupada is writing, as long as one is too much absorbed in the bodily conception of life, he becomes interested in many different processes of self-relation, such as yoga and speculative empirical methods. However, when one understands the ultimate goal of life is to approach Krishna, he realizes Krishna within everyone's heart and therefore helps everyone who is interested in Krishna consciousness. So actually, the perfection of life depends on one's inclination to hear about Krishna. So this is what, how much I am getting desire to hear about Krishna. It is therefore mentioned in this verse, Yavad Gadagraja Katasu Ratim na Kuryat. Unless one become interested in Krishna in his pastimes and activities, there is no question of liberation by means of yoga practice or speculative knowledge. So this is what it is explained. And next verse is Evam Savirya Pravaraha Samyojatmanamatmani Brahma Bhuto Dridham Kale Tatyajaswam Kalevaram. In due course of time, when Prithu Maharaj was to give up his body, he fixed his mind firmly upon the lotus feet of Krishna and thus completely situated on the Brahmabhuta platform. He gave up the material body. So Prabhupada writes, according to Bengal proverb, whatever spiritual progress one makes in life will be tested at the time of death. Yam yam vapi smaram bhavam Tejantante Kalevaram. So this is a very important thing that when we are what we are meditating whole life actually is we were discussing also what is the problem in committing sin is that memory remains very strong at the time of death. Any sinful activity we do. That's why we should not commit any sinful activities. Those who are practicing Krishna consciousness know that their examination will be held at the time of death. If one remember Krishna at the time of death, he is immediately transferred to Golok Vrindavan. So, and then Prabhupada has very famous shloka from Mukundamala Sutra. Krishna by Kulashekara Alvar Krishna Tadiya Pada Pankaja Panjarantam Advaitave Vishatu Manasa Raja Hamsa Prana Prayana Samaye Kapavata Pittau Kantavarodana Vido Smaranam Kutaste. He says King Kulishekar wanted to give up his body while he is in a healthy state, and he thus prayed to Krishna to let him die immediately while he was in good health and while his mind was sound. When a man dies, he is generally overpowered by mucus and bile, and thus he chokes. Since it is very difficult to vibrate any sound while choking, it is simply by Krishna's grace that one can chant Hare Krishna at the time of death. So when Ramanujacharya asked Kanchi Purna to ask Varadaraj, how can I remember the Lord at the time of death? It's difficult. If I die in coma unconsciously, then what? Lord says that if you have meditated on me for whole life, no need to worry. Even if you unconsciously die, Lord will remember us. That's what is needed. So we remembering Lord is one thing, but Lord remember is the most important thing. If Lord remembers us, then whatever state we are dying, not a problem. So the point is that we have to make sure that we are meditating on the Lord whole life. That is the target. And sampadya payum par pranibhyam vayum utsarnayam chanaihi nabhyam kostesh avastapya vidurkanta sir shani. He says that Maharaj, when Maharaj Prithu practiced a particular yogic sitting posture, he blocked the doors of his anus and his ankle, pressed his right and left calves, and gradually raised his life pair upwards, passing it on to the cycle of his navel up to the heart and throat, and finally pushed it upwards to the central portion between his two eyebrows. So here some nice explanations are given, which are not easy for now. The sitting posture described herein is called Mukhasana. In the yoga process, after following the strict regulative principles controlling sleep, eating, and mating, one is allowed to practice the different sitting postures. The ultimate aim of yoga is to enable one to give up his body according to one's own will. One who has attained the ultimate summit of yoga practice can live in the body as long as he likes, as long as he is not completely perfect, leave the body to go anywhere within or outside the universe. So here the yogis what they do, they have some material desires. So they while practicing yoga, what they do is they know that okay, some still some contamination is there in the chitta. There are some desires yet to be fulfilled. With the help of their soul, they have the body, but they can take up another body also. This body they are meditating, but they can take up another body and go fulfill the whatever temporary material desires, whatever they have, and then leave the body and come back to this original where they are practicing, and then they continue their meditation because something is blocking them. so that is how they remove all the uncontaminated things. So one who has uh, the yogi is to the ultimate aim of yoga is to enable one to give up this body according to his free will. But one who has attained the ultimate summit of yoga can leave the body as long as he like, as long as it's not completely perfect, leave the body to go anywhere outside within the universe. So, so they have this also. I forgot the name. This is like it's a uh, the perfection is only when you are freed from all the impressions. No impression should remain. So these all things are not known to the scientist. Unfortunately, fortunately, whatever. But they try. So and then they go to higher plant systems. However, intelligent yogis do not wish to waste their time within the material world at all. They do not care for the material facilities in higher plant systems, but are interested in going directly to spiritual sky, back to Godhead. From the description of this verse, Prithu had no desires to promote himself to higher plant system. He wanted to return home immediately back to Godhead. Although Maharaj Prithu stopped all practice of Mr. Yoga after realizing Krishna consciousness, he took advantage of his previous practice and immediately placed himself on Brahmabhuta platform in order to accelerate his return to Godhead. So here it is explained. Why did Prithu used Ashtanga Yoga is to accelerate. So he has that opportunity to go. He said, okay, now I can go. Let me go. Let me take. Say, like you have a vehicle. You can go by walk, you can go by vehicle. So I say, okay, I have a vehicle, let me use it to go it. Otherwise, there is a vehicle coming from spiritual world. It says, why to wait for the vehicle from spiritual world? I'll go myself. So maybe that is the intention. Like sometime you have your personal vehicle and government is sending some vehicle for you. So I'll take my vehicle, already have it. So maybe that is the reason. So Prabhupada is writing here. He took advantage of his previous practice and immediately placed himself on Brahmabhuta in order to accelerate his return to Godhead. The aim of this particular system of asana known as a sitting posture for liberation and muktasana is to attain success in Kundalini chakra and gradually raise the life from the Muladhara chakra to Swadhisthana chakra, then to the Manipura chakra, then Arhata chakra and Vishuddha chakra, and finally to Agni chakra. When the yogi reaches the Agni chakra between the two eyebrows, he is able to penetrate the Brahmarandra or the hole in the sky and go to another planet he desires up to the spiritual kingdom. The conclusion is that one has to come to the Brahma Bhuta stage for going back to Godhead. That means I should realize that I am not the body, spirit, soul. So Brahman realization is compulsory to realize Bhagwan. Paramatma realization is compulsory to realize Bhagwan. Because even Prithu Maharaj understood in everyone's heart there is Paramatma. So he got both Brahman realization and Paramatma realization. For us also, when we are practicing, we should also get Brahman realization. Not that, okay, now that is all impersonal Brahman real. No, that is needed for us, compulsory. Otherwise, we cannot attain perfection. Means that is a part of our, you are on the way it is. Like, I have to see that I am not the body, spirit, soul. That realization should come. Then only there is something going back home, back to God. Not that, oh, I'll just do and then everything is fine. One fine day, airplane will come. Where is your Brahman realization? Where is Paramatma realization? So it's not so easy. That's why even Kumaras, They are very exalted because they have realized Brahman. They may not be practicing pure devotional service, but still they are exalted. We don't have realization of Kumaras. We don't have realization of many of the great demigods also. They may be also be Brahman realized. So we cannot take it, we cannot insult anyone. Even the great rishis, munis in higher planetary systems, they are very realized. We don't have that realization. We theoretically know that pure devotional service is highest. That is only theory, not realized knowledge. But if we are fortunate, we have accepted Prabhupada, whatever Prabhupada is telling, and we are practicing it. That is our good fortune. Not that realization is there. Realization is such a very big thing. So, proportion the purpose of Muktasana practice is to come to the Brahmabhuta stage, for without being on the Brahmabhuta stage, when cannot be promoted to spiritual sky. As in Bhagavad Gita, Mam Chava Vipicharena Bhakti Yogini Sevate, Sagunan Samatiteta, Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. We have to transcend the modes. We should not be affected by goodness, passion, ignorance. Whole day we are affected by goodness, passion, ignorance. We get affected by the modes. We have our mood swings. Mind is affected by the modes. Body is affected by the modes. So we are then where is Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpati? We are affected by the gunas. Suddenly now it is very continuously raining here. I like this. My mood is very good because it is continuously. I like it. But for some people, it is so dull. They will not appreciate only. For me, I so much appreciate this. So it is affecting. The environment is affecting. So Bhakti Yoga, practicing Bhakti Yoga is always situated on the Brahma Bhuta stage. Brahma Bhuya. If a devotee is able to continue on the Brahma Bhuta platform, he enters the spiritual sky automatically after death and return to Godhead. Consequently, a devotee need not feel sorry for not having practiced the Kundalini chakra or not penetrating the six chakras one after another. So it is not needed for us. As far as Prithu Maharaj is concerned, he has already practiced this process, and since he did not want to wait for the time when the death would come naturally, he took advantage of the Shat Chakra penetration process and thus gave up the body according to his own free will and immediately entered the spiritual sky. So this is the reason Prabhupada is telling that he could have gone, but he chose. He could have waited, but he thought, why to waste so much time? Let me immediately go. So that is the main reason. So there is a question: how to differentiate theoretical knowledge, real knowledge? Yeah, theoretical for us presently it is all theory only, and slowly by practicing we get that realization. We have some realization. We know that we should follow, we should not give trouble to other living entities. We should not commit some sinful activities. We have that realization, and we also have some realization that okay, I should perform bhakti, which is better than jnana and karma. Theoretically, we know. But we have not realized Brahman realization, Paramatma realization. That realization we didn't have. But we have some realization because of Prabhupada's mercy. We accepted what he said. We practiced little bit. We understood. Still, we have the tendency of karma and jnana. We cannot say we don't have, because we have a desire to get out of problems in life. Whenever problem comes, immediately instead of thinking of serving Krishna, we want to come out of the problem. That is jnana tendency. And then we have the tendency for karma. We are interested in the results of our actions. So we still have that. We are affected by the modes. We are affected by our vasanas. We have a desire to practice pure devotional service, but still these things are not gone. Now we are so much into karma and jnana tendencies. That means it's not bhakti completely. So, and why that is because we are affected by the modes. That's the main reason. Our mind is in passion and ignorance, and it immediately shows in our desires, behaviors, and all. So that's why our knowledge is more on a theory. Like people who have realized Brahman, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatmana Sochati na Kankshati. If you see Bhagavad Gita 18th chapter, you see the symptoms of a person who is Brahman realized. I'll just show you this. Sorry, 18th chapter. You have, yeah, this. You see what symptoms that are explained. Being purified by his intelligence and controlling the mind with determination. So intelligence is purified, that is Brahman realization. Controlling the mind with determination, that is Brahman. Giving up the objects of sense gratification, being free from attachment and hatred, who lives in a secluded place, who eats little, control his body, mind, and speech, always in trance, who is detached, free from false ego, false strength, false pride, lust, anger, and acceptance of material things, free from false proprietorship and peaceful. Such a person is certainly elevated to the position of self realization. So, first we should have self realization, then Paramatma realization. So, this is the qualities that are explained by Krishna. So, then he says that Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na sochati na kankshati samasarveshu bhuteshu mad bhakti navat. So, one who is thus transcendentally situated, at one realizes Supreme Brahman. So, in that state, he attains pure devotional service. Of course, we need not practice this. We will practice Bhaktyama Abhijanati. We will say, oh Krishna, I cannot do all these things. Krishna says, don't worry. We can practice bhakti. So, for us, our practice is different. We want to practice bhakti, but we should know that that realization should come to anyone who want to attain perfection. So, here our knowledge is I am not the body, spirit, soul is theory only, no? if I am if I have realized it, then I will be the verses of this 18th chapter, 55th verse 51, 52, 53. I will behave like that. I am not behaving, that means I am not realized that I am not the body, spirit, soul. It is theory only for us. But we know this is the process. We have to attain like this. There is no other way. So next verse says that उत्सर्पयमस्तु तं मूर्ध्नि क्रमेणेनावेश्य निःस्पृहः वायुं वायुक्षितौ कायं तेजस्तेजस् In this way, Prithu Maharaj gradually raised his air of life up to the whole of in his skull, whereupon he lost all desires for material existence. Gradually, he merged his air of life with the totality of the air, his body with the totality of air, his fire within the body with the totality of fire. So, very nice exercise, but we cannot do it. So, the question is how to clean our subconscious, which is filled with vasanas. That is what we are doing whole day. That is what is sadhana is to clean that only. Chanting is for that only. See what happens is they are so much stock is there in that, and we have to replace them with the proper other positive things so that they go into background. Like we have apps, if you don't use certain app for long time, then you get a notification this app is not used for long time, should we delete? Then we should have to say delete. Like that so many things which we are not using for long time, in laptop also it indicates these files are not used for long time, should we delete? We say yes, happily delete. So that is the only way we can come out of this cleaning of our chitta. Cheto darpan marjanam. So whole day we are sitting. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give that only. Yeah, that same. Vasanas are sanskaras. First, the impressions are sanskaras. So the sanskaras which are manifested in this life are called vasanas. And vasanas they further turn into vrittis. So basically, the vasanas, vrittis, and sanskaras they are all in our chitta. And we are doing Cheto Darpana Marjanam, cleaning our heart by chanting the holy name. That's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told. The chitta is filled with sanskaras, vasanas, and vrittis. We have to work on them to rectify them. That is the process. Vritti is the vasana is the tendencies. Vritti is the what do you say? The justification, the thought process. Say now I think in a particular way. That is my vritti. You are you because of vasanas you start thinking in a particular way. For me, I feel that my room should be in this way, house should be in this way, my food should be in this way, my dress should be in this way. All these things are my thought process. This is based on my vasanas because I have that impressions. The way I behave, the way I talk, the way I deal, they are called vrittis. So vasanas will turn into vrittis. That is the thought process or justification of what we are doing. I justify what I am doing. Now somebody asks, why are you attending morning class? So you have some justification for what you do. That is vritti. Vritti is our justification. How I am right. Whatever we are doing, we know right. Who will tell us who are right? Based on our vrittis, vrittis deciding. Yeah, you are right. You are right. So here uh, I don't know what is this system, but we'll see what Prabhupada says. When the spiritual spark, which is described as 1/10,000 tip part of the tip of the hair, is forced into the metal existence, that spark is covered by gross and subtle metal elements. The metal body is composed of five gross elements: earth, water, fire, air, and ether, and three subtle elements: mind, intelligence, ego. When one attains liberation and is free from this metal covering, indeed, success in yoga involves getting free from these material coverings and enter into the spiritual existence. So Prabhupada writes that when a living entity gives up the metal covering, he remains a spirit's soul. This spirit soul must enter into spiritual sky to merge into Brahman effulgence. Unfortunately, unless the living entity has information of spiritual world and Vaikuntha, there is a 99.9% chance of his falling down again into the metal existence. So Prabhupada is not even is giving small. There is, however, a small chance of being promoted to spiritual planet from Brahman effulgence Brahma Jyoti. This Brahma Jyoti is considered by impersonalists to be without variety and Buddhists consider it to be void. In either case, whether one accepts the spiritual sky or being without variety or void, there is none of the spiritual bliss which is enjoyed in the spiritual sky, Vaikuntha. In the absence of varieties of enjoyment, the spirit soul gradually feels an attraction to enjoy the life of bliss. Not having any information of Krishna Loka, he naturally falls down to material activities. So, so here Prabhupada is trying to very heavily tell that don't go for Brahmajyoti, you may come down. Of course, it is not going to happen, but Prabhupada wanted to make us fearful of it. That's the reason. He is making such statements to make us fearful of not going to Brahmajyoti. Yes, Veer Krishna.
Uh, Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare
Prabhu, in Brahman relation also there is a Brahmananda. Prabhu, so how Prabhupada is saying ki they will fall down?
No, no, they will
Because
not fall down. Prabhupada wanted to make us afraid of it. Don't go there. That's why he's trying to make that point. He's pushing in that direction. So it is not like that.
right.
No need to worry. Okay. So next verse is कान्याकाशे द्रवं तोये यथा स्थानं विभागसः क्षितिम् अम्बसि तेजस् आद्वायुनभस्अमुम्. In this way, according to the different positions of various parts of the body, Prithu Maharaj merged the wholes of his senses with the sky, his bodily liquids such as blood and various secretions with the totality of water, and he merged earth with water, then water with fire, fire with air, air with sky, and so on. So Prabhupada says that yata sthanam vibhagasaha. Second canto, Brahma clearly explained to Narada how the creation took place, and he explains one step after another the proper divisions of the senses and control of the senses, the objects of senses and material elements, and he also explains how they are created one after another: the air from fire, sky, fire from air, water from fire, earth from water, etc. It is important, Prabhupada writing, it is important to know thoroughly the process of creation as it applies to this cosmic creation. It is very important that second and third canto are read nicely. Similarly, this body is also created according to the same process by Supreme Lord. The personality of Godhead, after entering the universe, creates the cosmic manifestation one after another. Similarly, the living entities, after entering a womb of mother, also collects these gross and subtle bodies, taking ingredients from totality of sky, air, fire, water, and earth. Oh, very nice point. You see, when we enter into the womb of mother, we are collecting this gross and subtle elements. So, and slowly, slowly you release them. In the yoga process, they are releasing them. You are accumulating and you are releasing also. So they have perfected the art of releasing. For us, it is not possible. We are forcefully taken out. That's why it is very painful for us. If somebody is like you have a house and then you constructed a house, then somebody pulls us out of the house which we are so attached. It is so painful. But for the yogis, they are so perfect. They created the house, they know, and they know how to dismantle it. They are just removing everything, merging the cement with cement and all these things. Of course, I am just giving some grossly, but it is how that is how they are doing it. They are again giving everything back and separating the soul from all these things. And there is no problem only because they know just made it and I am removing it. Nobody is forcing me to come out of this, which is so painful. All the time we had this very bad experience, millions and millions of lifetimes. We are removed from the body which we stayed. So painful. That is the reason, even though we did not experience death in this life, still we are afraid of death because the experience is there of the death every time, every lifetime we have experience of death. So that causes us fear because again we have to face that traumatic situations which we underwent many, many, many millions of lifetimes. Again, we have to go through the same situations which we cannot avoid. So, but if somebody perfected, they said, "Oh, what is the question of somebody removing me? I will only give it up." So that is perfection. So if we are ourselves, that's why Bhakti Maharaj said, die before you die. You only give up before it goes away. So uh, such a nice achievement, right? इन्द्रियस्यो मनस्तानि तन्मात्रेषु यतोद्भवम् उत्कृष्य मह्यत् आत्मनि सन्धदे. He amalgamated the mind with the senses and the senses with the sense objects according to their respective positions. He also amalgamated the material yoga with total material energy Mahat Tattva. So, in respect to the ego, the total material energy is uh, surrendered to two parts. One agitated by modes of ignorance, other agitated passion and goodness. Due to agitation by mode of ignorance, the five gross elements are created. Due to agitation in mode of passion, the mind is created. Due to agitation mode of goodness, false ego or identification with matter is created. So goodness is creating identity. That's why it's very strong. Tamoguna, it is destroyed. Mind also, but ego is the most difficult because it is coming from goodness. Goodness is very strong, and that is the reason we have to work with ego. Goodness means we have to work at very good time, Brahma Muhurta time. Chanting the holy name will affect the ego. Otherwise, not so easy. Sometimes the mind, manaha, is also understood to have a controlling deity or demigod. In this way, the total mind, namely the material mind controlled by material demigods, was amalgamated with the senses. The senses in turns are amalgamated with the sense objects. Sense objects are form, taste, smell, sound, etc. Sound is ultimate source of all sense objects. So again, Prabhupada is trying to explain. Creation is so arranged that cause and effect follow one after another. The merging process involves amalgamation, the effect from the original cause. Such ultimate, since the ultimate cause is the material world is Mahat Tattva, everything was gradually wound up and amalgamated with the Mahat Tattva. This may be compared to Shunyavada or Vaidism, but this is the process of for cleansing the real spiritual mind or consciousness. And when the mind is completely washed of all material contamination, the pure consciousness acts. So even just hearing only is so much satisfying. When your mind is completely washed of all material contamination, the pure consciousness, the sound vibration from the spiritual sky can automatically cleanse all material contamination. So this is the answer. Cheto Darpan Marjanam. We didn't actually know that Prabhupada is going to write. We discussed the same thing. We need only take advice of Lord Chaitanya and chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra to clean the mind of all material contaminations. So you're asking about vasanas. Prabhupada is answering, same answer. We are discussing in Parampara. As soon as whole material contamination washed away by this process of chanting, all desires and reactions to material activities becomes immediately vanquished and real life, peaceful existence began. In this age of Kali, it is very difficult to adopt the yogic process mentioned in this verse unless one is very expert. So the best course is uh, is to adopt the ways and means of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. Thus one can gloriously become free from all material contamination by simple process of chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So the process is very simple, but our problems are complicated. That is the main problem. Not that process is very tough. Process is very simple. We are very tough. So, and any any state of our life, the process is same only. Chanting Hare Krishna. तं सर्वगुणविन्यासं जीवे मायामये न्यधात् तं चानुस्यम् आत्मस्थम् आसावन्नुष्यानि पुमान् ज्ञानवैराग्यवीर्येण स्वरूपस्थो जठात् प्रभु. Putamaras then offered the total designations of the living entity into the supreme control of the illusory energy being released from all the designations by which the living entity becomes entrapped. He became freed by knowledge and renunciation and by the spiritual force of his devotional service. In this way, being situated in his original constitutional position of Krishna consciousness, he gave up his body as a Prabhu or controller of the senses. So, what did he give up? He gave the identification. that I am the master of this body, control of this body, enjoyer of this body. So uh, we are entrapped here. Ishvara sarvabhutanam hridaya sajjana tishtati brahmayan sarvabhutanam intara rudani maya. So Lord is in the heart of all conditioned souls, and by his supreme will, the living entity or individual gets the facility to lord it over material nature. He is giving us this facility to lord. So, but Prithu Maharaj, he got spiritual enlightenment and he gave up that mentality. So when we renounce, when Prithu Maharaj became spiritually powerful by the enhancement of his spiritual knowledge, jnana, and renunciation of material desires, he became a Prabhu or master of the senses, sometimes called Goswami. So which is not a very easy thing to become Goswami. That means the senses are completely in the control, in their control. How it is possible? It is our tongue is in so much in demand, eyes are in so much demands, all the senses are in so much demand. How can we control them? So the real identity of individual soul lies in understanding or attaining the knowledge that he is eternally servant of Krishna. This understanding is called Sarupopalabdhi. So this is very tough thing. In this verse, the word Prabhu is also significant. As stated before, when one is completely self-realized and acts according to that position, he is called Prabhu. And Prabhupada is writing, the spiritual master is addressed as Prabhupada because he's completely self-realized soul. The word Pada means position, and Prabhupada indicates that he is given the position of Prabhu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, for he acts on behalf of the Supreme Lord. Unless one is Prabhu or controller of senses, he cannot act as spiritual master. He is authorized by the Supreme Prabhu or Krishna. In this verse, the praising of spiritual master Vishnu Chikratakul Sakshadaриtvena Samasta Shastra. So, similarly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, although Krishna himself taught how to approach Krishna as a devotee, Apani Achari Prabhu Shikainu Sabara. Hitvanyata Rupam Surupena Vyavasthiti. So, this is अर्चिनाम महाराज्ञी तत्पत्न्यनुगतावयवनं सुकुमार्य अर्हाच्च यत्पदभ्यां स्पृशणं भवः. The queen, the wife of Ritu Maharaj, whose name was Archi, followed her husband into the forest. Since she was a queen, her body was very delicate. Although she did not deserve to live in the forest, she voluntarily touched her lotus feet to the ground. So it is Queen also who was delivered. So Prabhupada writes, Prithamara's wife was the queen and also a daughter of king. She never experienced walking on the ground. For queens used to never come out of the palace. They certainly never went to the forest and tolerate all the difficulties of living in the wilderness. In Vedic civilization, there are hundreds of similar examples of such renunciation on the part of queens and dedication to the husband. The goddess of fortune, Mother Sita, followed her husband Ramachandra. So, Maharaj Dasharatha, both Mother Sita were not so ordered. Nevertheless, she voluntarily accepted the path of her husband. Similarly, Gandhari, the wife of King Dhritarashtra, also followed her husband into the forest. Being the wife of great personalities like Prithu, Lord Ramachandra, and Dhritarashtra. These were ideal chaste women. Such queens also instructed the general people by showing them how to become a chaste wife and follow the husband in every stage of life. When the husband is king, she sits beside him as a queen. When he goes to the forest, she also follows, despite having to tolerate all kinds of difficulties in the forest life. Therefore, it is said here, Ata अतः her heart that although she did not want to touch her feet to the ground, she nevertheless accepted all difficulties and she went to the forest with her husband. Okay, thank you all very much. I'll end here. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्णा।